The Clippers are Kawhi Leonard's team, but should they be? We have an idea of how close the Rams came to landing Christian McCaffrey, and the Chargers are getting healthy. No, they're not. That's so last week. Hi, I'm James, and this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is faithful Angelenos. Good morning. It's October 24th, 2022. I am sitting in the nether regions of Ontario Airport, about to go home to the wife, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But before I go see her and what's inside her blouse, let's talk LA sports. If you like the content that we put out, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. We'll let people know we exist, and by all means comment, for I am not perfect. I am definitely not perfect. So let's go through the news and notes. Actually, the scoreboard first. Okay, so yesterday, just a bad day for the LA teams overall. Seattle 37, Chargers 23. There's just simply no doubt about it. The Chargers got beaten in every facet of the game. There's a rapid recap of the game on the Chargers playlist. And by the way, keep in mind that is 2 times at SoFi Stadium that they got crushed. So I don't really know what to think about the Chargers yet. By the way, Jeremy Grant's layup with 3 seconds left lifts Portland to a victory over the Lakers 106-104. The Lakes are 0-3. And even the Clippers lost last night. Devin Booker scored 35, handed the Clippers their first loss. Phoenix 112-95. There are no games scheduled for LA teams today. So what I'm about to let you in on is not exactly my original thought. I was thinking about it, but I'm not in print journalism anymore, so I wasn't the first person to write it. But I'm watching the Clippers play the Kings on Saturday night. And Paul George put up 40 points in a win. 40. And I'm sitting there thinking, over off to the side somewhere is Kawhi Leonard taking the entire game off for quote-unquote load management. And meanwhile, his running mate is dropping 40. So here's the question. Are the Clippers really Kawhi Leonard's team? Is he the guy on that team? Now, I'm not trying to sit there and stir up controversy and say it's going to be a war between the two. Paul George already came out and said, as far as I'm concerned, it's Kawhi's team. But can it really be Kawhi's team if he's taking off every other game? And when he is playing, he's coming off the bench. Does that make sense to you? Because it doesn't to me. I mean, I do recognize why Paul George said it's Kawhi's team. When he was in Indiana, the Pacers were his team, and he knows pretty much how that came out. But I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, for the Clippers to win, they can win without Kawhi Leonard. They might not be championship level, but they can win. But in order for the Clippers to win, period, Paul George has to be great. Not good, great. So, are we being a little flim-flammed here? Is Paul George really the guy and he just doesn't want to admit it? According to Peter Schrager of Fox Sports, the Los Angeles Rams offered an extremely close deal to land Christian McCaffrey. The difference? San Francisco gave up a second, a third, and a fourth round draft pick. The Rams, they went second, third, and fifth. And you might be saying to yourself, well, didn't the Panthers call and say we can get a fourth out of San Francisco? What you got? They didn't have a fourth round pick. The Rams gave it up to the Patriots to land Sony Michel last year. This close to landing an every down back. There is such a thing as adding injury to insult. The Chargers, yesterday, cornerback J.C. Jackson left the game in the second quarter with a dislocated kneecap. Very painful. My wife has that right now. She's not a happy camper. Wide receiver Mike Williams also injured his right ankle. Now, Brandon Staley is trying to do some cleanup here. He called Jackson's knee injury, quote, significant, unquote. They just don't know how bad yet. There's going to be an MRI on J.C. Jackson later today, and we'll find out the severity of the damage. But again, I have an uncomfortable question for the Chargers fans. And I want to be clear about this, because for example, I don't like San Diego. And I know the Chargers came from San Diego, but we have a general rule on this channel. If you are an LA team, we got you. I'm a Galaxy fan. I make no bones about that. But we put up LAFC news. Why? Because they're an LA team. So we're not here to clown the Chargers. Not at all. The Chargers had a 3-game winning streak, right? But they barely escaped Cleveland. And you could argue that they barely escaped Houston too. So you're talking about getting your heads kicked in by Jacksonville, your head kicked in yesterday by Seattle, barely escaping Cleveland, can't stop the run. Do we even really know how good this team is going into the bye week? How good are they? Are they good? So let me know what you think in the comments thread. I'm not saying I definitely know the answer. I'm just finding it curious that we're almost at the halfway point of the year and we still don't know what we have with the Chargers. After the Lakers lost yesterday, LeBron James accused the press of trying to get him to talk crap about Russell Westbrook. By the way, that is a fair accusation to make against the press, because that is what sells papers if people bought them anymore. That is clickbait. That is ratings to try to stir up controversy. Having said that, Westbrook's playing time is diminishing. Did you notice how the Lakers game ended yesterday? They have the lead in the last minute, and Westbrook throws up this ridiculous shot with about 30 seconds to go, and even LeBron James is looking across on the other side of the court like what was that? So we're starting to wonder how much longer the Lakers can put up with this. We've been asking it for about a week. Darvin Ham was asked about how Westbrook would react to being benched late in the game. And quote, "We don't have time for people to be in their feelings." Correct, Coach Ham. Absolutely correct. I don't necessarily know if he's going to wind up being an amazing coach, but he's correct. There is no time on an 0-3 team to be worrying about what people think about you. Lincoln Riley says that USC linebacker Eric Gentry and wide receiver Jordan Addison did not get injured long-term in Utah, which is good. They're day-to-day. Translation, they're probably playing Saturday in Arizona. As for the rankings, the Trojans, they are tied for number 10 with Wake Forest. UCLA slipped to 12. And by the way, there are 4 teams overall in the Pac-12 that are in the top 25. Oregon leads the way at ranked number 8, and Utah is number 14. The Sparks have a new coach in Kurt Miller. They have about $1 million in cap space. And by the way, in WNBA, that is like Scrooge McDuck's vault. That's how much cap space that is. There's a real chance that the Sparks wipe the slate clean, and honestly, I think they should. Only 2 players have guaranteed contracts for next year. One of them is a guard that they really like, Chennedy Carter. And considering, though, that the Sparks were 10th in a 12-team league and they missed the playoffs for a second consecutive year, nobody is a sure bet to return. Nobody. They don't have a first-round draft pick, by the way. But overall, I will say this. Change, it's going to be good. And I'm not just saying that because the Sparks were bad. You see, the Lakers have had spells when they were bad, but I would still want to watch them because I would like them. I can't even verify if any of the Sparks who played last year are people that I would want to know. They just did not seem likable. There was just so much pathetic drama. If your team is going to suck, it's not good, but at least give me a reason to like you as a person. At least then you might talk me into going to buy a ticket once in a blue moon. Wouldn't you agree? Let me know what you think in the comments thread. Yesterday, frankly, was a bit of a tough day for LA, but so be it. We remain the greatest sports city of the world for a reason. If you enjoyed this clip, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We do talk LA sports here. I'm James. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.